Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali. A very good morning to you. Where you watching us from this morning? 111 That is our SMS line. It's just going to cost you a shilling to be part of the conversation. Send in your questions. Switch TV KE on Instagram. Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Looking at your SMSs this morning. Congrats. Wish you the best. Thank you so much. Hi Mikali. Congratulations to you and Switch TV. I love your morning shows, especially the Advice Circle. Watching from Limuru. Asante sana. Hi Mikali. It is Kendi from Kibugwa. Watching your gorgeous show. I'm always tuned in from the Rakanidi, well represented by your number ones, by your number one show. Your number one show is lit. Way. Thank you. I am really happy for Switch TV. May God bless Switch TV. Thank you so much. We do not take it for granted once again. Those 3 wins mean everything to us, and thanks to you. Now, getting into another conversation. Who is the most important person? If you were told to just mention, who would you mention? Who would it be? It's time for Relationship Circle. And taking us through this journey of who the most important person, and I don't know if you've taken time to just answer that. Please answer it before she tells us who that person is. Welcome to the show, Judy.
Thank you so much. Asante, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here this
Karibu.
morning.
It's been a while, but
Yes.
I'm glad you're back.
Yes. Glad to see you.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about the most important person and who that person is. Most of the times, and I think it's something that we also talked about on the show. Dr. Wale once asked us to, write attributes of maybe Judy.
Yes.
What do you think about Judy? Like, Judy is so beautiful. Judy is so talented. Judy is so, she's intelligent. And then when you're told to write about yourself, then what do?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to blow my own trumpet. I'm just easy. I'm just chill. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yes. You're talking about having a relationship with the most important person in
Yes,
the world.
yes.
And you have to fall in love with yourself, Mikali.
Oh.
You have to fall deeply, madly in love with yourself. And no, I'm not talking about you being selfish. It's about you knowing what you carry. That no one is giving you a favor to be in your life. You know that this is what you have to offer the world, and then you begin to discuss and you begin to rate who is allowed to come into your space because you know the value of what you are and what you carry.
You need to know that.
You need to know that.
Before you point out to other people and how you think when they come into your life, they will complete you. That without them, I'm nothing. You should think without me, I'm nothing. I'm the most important person in my world. Because when I'm not there, my world is not there.
That's true. That's true. And that's where everything starts. And I liked the conversation that you were having with Wale. And he said you have to deal with the roots, not the fruit.
Yeah.
Actually, what you were saying, you have to deal with yourself before we deal with your results.
That is so true.
Yes.
And this is so tied in. It looks like it's a conversation that
tell you,
continues.
I was like,
But how do we get to this pace? Because Judy, growing up, tunaambiwa, don't blow your own trumpet.
Yes.
Ngojea watu wakuambie.
Yes.
Nyenyekea Mungu akuinue. Like there are all kinds of things that are said to you, and we've been told, we've been encouraged to uplift others and put ourselves second, and sometimes that uko nyuma.
Hata acha unaenda mbali sana ukisema unambua nyenyekea. Kwanza they label you. Ni kiherehere sana.
That's so
unazungumza mambo mengi sana.
And it starts when you're a child,
yes,
Judy.
and that's where the damage is done. That's why you're compared with your sister. You're compared with your brother. You don't perform as well in school. You begin to think less of yourself. When we do our coaching, Mikali, it's amazing that actually people don't know what they carry. People don't know themselves. Something happened to us along the way.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a burden. You must know yourself. You must find your true identity. Before they even tell you, usijisifu, they finished you.
They did. And I've listened to stories of, women who were bubbly and loud as kids, and they were told to tone it down. Yes. And it went all the way down to the floor, and nobody was there to tell them, it's okay now, you can open up. No, that was shut down. That was you.
That's exactly what happened to me. Nilikuwa naitwa kiherehere. So
Judy uko kwa TV. Uko kwa TV saizi na kiherehere yako. You're changing lives.
Yes. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yet, do you know what happens for the most part is that the gift that God has given you is what the world will try to shut down.
Knowingly and unknowingly.
Most times unknowingly.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're not careful, if now you don't get external help to come and call out whatever you had, it's very likely that you'll go down to the grave having never rediscovered yourself.
Oh my goodness.
I found myself, Mwikali, in my 40s.
What?
Yes. I know I don't look it. It's okay.
I'm like, 40 where? Are you talking? But I think I forgot the rest of the conversation. What were you saying? At 40, you what?
Yes. And I think, Mwikali, for me, that's why I'm so passionate about this conversation. I'm very, very passionate about it because can you imagine how many decades I lost?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And if you're going by the statistics, probably half your life.
Yes, that's true.
40 years of you not knowing who Judy is and what
Yes.
she's capable of.
Yes, that's
And
what
the
happened.
milestones that she can cover.
Oh, that's what happened to me. You're serving in a wrong career, getting into wrong relationships, as an example, not knowing what you have, carrying yourself and thinking you're less than yourself.
It's like, no. Opportunities come your way and you think they're better off taken
They
over
don't
by
even
somebody
come your
else.
way because you can't call them to you.
So you don't even notice
You
them.
don't even notice them, and the doors don't just seem to open. Because the doors will not open until you get to the place of knowing yourself.
That's when you start seeing.
That's when the doors your nature, your spiritual realm begins to connect with the things that you are meant to do.
Oh, goodness. So we live blind.
Many of us. And that's why I tell you, I'm so passionate about this thing, because there are people in their 20s, in their 30s, they can be saved. There's someone in their 40s, in their 50s, and you're thinking your life is long gone. I'm
it's
here.
not.
It's not gone. You can recover and gain speed and gain momentum and run like there is no tomorrow.
Judy, I'd like to know
Yes.
how you found that space and how it happened to you, for you to be the person that you are here today. And to our audiences this morning, if you're going through this, you feel like your light was stifled, if you're feeling like your light was dimmed and you do not understand what it is that is happening to you, you don't know what your purpose is, what direction you're taking in life, it feels confused, dull and gloomy, please send in those questions. Send in your experiences. 111 That is our SMS line. Share with us. Ask all the questions because Judy is here for you and she will be handling that. It is not over. It is not the end. There's still a chance for you to rediscover yourself. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. It's Monday and I'm excited. I'm happy to be here and I hope you are too. We're having a very important conversation of the most important relationship that you will ever need. And that relationship we've established from Judy that relationship is with you and that you need to be madly, crazy, in love with yourself. That's where it all begins, but it's a journey. You need to be open for that. And Judy, you were just telling us that you discovered yourself 40 years in.
40 plus.
40
I didn't tell you how many. Come to a
You
chat
keep
for your
shocking-
story.
Why are you shocking me? Honestly, you don't look that.
I know.
You are so young and
Glory
youthful
to
and your
God.
laughter is beautiful.
Thank you.
So what happened? How did you get to this point of even understanding that I need to change? Something needs to give.
Actually took a job loss, and that encourages someone who is here who is going through a job loss. Sometimes when you're going through a dark season of your life, a
Yeah.
job loss, a relationship loss, whatever, if you focus on the loss, you'll miss it.
Okay.
Mwikali, I was out of work, and not for 1 year, not for 2 years. But it was in that moment of stillness
Yeah.
that I found out who Judy really is. I grew up, I started my career of receptionist, cleaner. Yes.
Judy.
That's where I started, at that lowest level. And so on your natural path, as you think about your career, you think about going into admin, which I did. I went into admin, I became a personal assistant, then that job went. When that job went, I went now and started my own business. That's when I discovered, oh, I can sell. That's another encouragement for someone. When whatever, it's a bend on the road. You've lost a job, it's a bend on the road. It's redirecting your path to what you should do.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
Don't.
So I lost my job. I went to start my own business. That's when I discovered, oh, I can sell. But
Yes.
now I didn't have enough capital to keep me in the business. So I went back to the job market.
Yeah.
Went back to admin because I understood admin. But when I went back to admin now, the sales bag had already hit. So I went back now, changed my career into sales and marketing.
Okay.
But that meant that I was going to start at the rock bottom, which I did. So I went now, changed my career into sales and marketing. By the time I was leaving the corporate world, I was a sales and marketing manager. Starting from rock bottom.
Yeah.
That's to encourage anyone. I
Yes.
hear your listeners from diverse places.
That's true.
Don't give up. You can be anything.
Yeah.
So how I rediscovered Judy
Yes.
is I lost my job, like I said. And so when I lost my job, in this season of losing my job, someone called me and told me, Judy, listen to this someone and transcribe for me. It was a free thing. It was like that person just called out my gift. I transcribed. So when I transcribed, he called me later. He's like, you're very intelligent. Why don't you just put quotes on social media? I wrote an article. I didn't write a quote. But I wrote an article based on the dark season because I was tired of people on social media just putting beautiful posts of you being on holiday and everything. But there are people are going through stuff and no one is talking about this dark season because it was very lonely for me. So when I wrote an article about the dark seasons of life, that's what the response was overwhelming. People could relate with it. I started writing an article every Monday to talk about inspiring people, encouraging people, motivating people, drawing from my life experiences and drawing from the Word of God. But what this person didn't even know, at 18, I wrote an article that was published in the Standard newspapers. Can you imagine the gift that had died, that had been rediscovered in the place that I had thought had come to an end? As a young girl, I always wanted to be an anchor.
Yes.
I remember going to KTN, those days when KTN was at Nyayo House, going and I was told I looked too young on the screen. At that time, I was 17. My dreams at that point died.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, in 2019, I remember I was just given an opportunity to do a welcome in church. And people were like, you mean, Judy, you've been sitting on that gift? That is how the speaker in me was birthed.
Oh, my goodness.
And now, because I was out of work, it was easy for me the light bulbs now went on. So I started doing free trainings like this. It is the season of COVID, this one, that everyone has complained about, that made me start in online courses, that made me begin to think, what happened to me? What could have happened to me if, for example, I rediscovered myself? I discovered who I was at my 20s. Ningekuwa nacheza ligi moja na inaitwa nani? Huyu wa States. This public speaker, you know her, Lisa Nichols.
Yes.
Are you seeing?
Yeah.
But I'm here struggling.
No, you're not.
In Kenya.
We love you. We are here for you. We appreciate your hours. But we wish you all the best as well. It's not too late, like you said.
It's not.
But I understand
I'm
what you mean.
Yes. But I felt like if I knew earlier, where would I have been, as an example? But two, that's to encourage someone who is young and is feeling like you have all the time. No. If you discover earlier, you can run your race much faster.
Yes.
But that's also to encourage someone else who is feeling, no, I've come to my end. I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, and I can't do it. Judy Mzungu is right here. We can do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, Judy, thank you so much for sharing that. And it may be an encouragement to all the people who are watching and feeling like this has been a very dark season for you. Because the dark season for you, as people were blossoming and sharing all of that, you chose to share your darkness or the place that you felt was dark.
Yes.
And that was where your light was.
That's where my light was. And that's how I began to speak. That's how I began to encourage people. And then now I could retrace I now began to look back. That's how now I had a passion and a burden. So today when I come to speak about the realignment program with Kali, it is not theory.
No, it's not.
It's not theory.
It's not.
Yeah. And that's why I'm passionate about it. I'll do anything because I know the price of losing yourself is too high.
Some people go through a lot of maybe trauma, or they're shut down when they're kids.
Yes.
And they go on with their lives knowing very well that they have it in them to be bigger or to do more than they're doing now. And they end up walking a path of being angry at themselves because they don't have the courage to step out and be those things that they know they can be. How do you get out of that space? How do you forgive yourself and just step out?
I think what usually happens when you have gone through a traumatic experience or you have been boxed in your life, you stop believing in yourself.
Yes.
But deep down, there's something in you that tells you, I am so much more.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had that. I knew deep inside of me, I am so much more. I knew it, but I just didn't know how to actualize it.
Yeah.
Now, in those days when I was there, of course, there was no coaching, so we didn't know. And that's why now we are here to come back. It's like we're just coming back to tell you, what, you are so much more, and to help you. We actually do take a journey with you back, Mwikali, because that's where the secret is. It's in going back to your childhood, going back to your teenagehood, going back to your work experiences, to find out what makes you thrive, what makes you not work, well, so that now we align you to what would be your ideal place of purpose. It makes a difference when you look consciously.
I understand.
You begin to direct your path, and you know what, when you begin it's not even you directing your path. When you're in your place of purpose, doors open.
Yes.
How is it that I'm just able to connect with you, Mwikali? I mean, we've been here, we've almost become like friends, and we can share our testimonies on TV.
Yes.
Are you seeing? It's because of relationship. How is it coming? It's because I am in my place of purpose, so it becomes easy for me to function in this place.
Okay. Wow.
And so it's our business to go and help people to find their place of function. And let me tell you, because I am what is it called, strong-willed. So even as a secretary, I thrived.
As a cleaner.
As a cleaner, I thrived.
Yeah.
As a sales and marketing manager, I thrived. You know. So let not your current performance cheat you. You have to go back and find out everything, including, and most of those things that were suppressed, including kiherehere, Yes, bring it out, because that's what the world needs.
That is so true.
And you have to fall in love with that version of yourself, so that when they try to describe you like that now, you are introduced. You have to have the courage to come back and introduce yourself to yourself, and then introduce yourself to the world.
That's true. I was always like on the noisemakers list, Judy. Like always.
I see you making noise today.
Times 10, because they couldn't write my name enough times. It's like Miriam Mwikali Mutua times 10. Mwalimu anapatiwa list like times 10.
Yes.
Kila mtu anasamehewa, and then you wa times 10 unabeba mzigo yao yote. Wewe ndio unapanishiwa. But when I look back, I'm like, they didn't know.
They didn't know.
They didn't
In fact,
know better.
maybe yes. Now what they could have done for you in this particular dispensation is to help you now to know how can you use your public speaking gifts. Because I was a public speaker as a child. Imagine all that was going to go to the gutter. Can you imagine?
We wouldn't have our Judy today.
By the way, do you know, ni hasira, Mwikali, you have to go back and look for other people.
That is so true. That is so true. We have a couple of questions here. I just want to get into them. Hi, Mwikali. I'm really happy for Switch TV. I don't know myself or what I want in life. Please help. I'm only 15, but the younger, the better.
Yes, it's true. He or she is right.
Yeah.
The younger, the better. So the best thing is try and get in touch with me. I'll leave your numbers. I'll try and sort you out, because it's not anything that we can answer on the phone.
Looking at some of the things that we can do at home for anybody who's just like, I don't know where to go from here, and I don't know what steps to take, but I feel there's a burning desire, like what you had, that I was made for more.
Yes.
But they do not know how to take that path.
Yes.
Where would you even suggest they begin?
You begin with remembering who you were as a child, because that was God's blank canvas
Of your life.
for your life. What happened is, because our parents told us things, the society told us things, we began to shy away from that.
Nice.
But you see, the unfortunate thing that happens, Mwikali, is sometimes when people carry so much trauma, because you are used to hiding the trauma, you hide the good.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
And that's why now coaching comes in, because we have to help you to get past this.
Yes.
So that we get to this. On your own, that's why it becomes a bit of a challenge, because many people say, when you tell them, remember your childhood, I can't remember.
There's a bit of truth in there. No. There are things I'm just like, so do we block that part?
You block. What happens is, because it's a psychological thing,
Yes.
You decided at some point to numb yourself from your bad life experiences.
Okay.
So without knowing, you also killed the good life experiences.
Okay.
So now you understand where now coaching comes in, because now we have to be patient to unravel, to get past this and get into now the good and now get you out.
The raw, the honesty that happens in that process.
Yes, yes. It's a lot of work, and sometimes it can get tedious, but let me tell you, the results are just amazing.
Okay.
The results are amazing.
Hi, Mwikali. Right now, I'm in a we stay relationship. We have one child. This guy has cheated, flirted over 7 years that I have known him. Right now, I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. Should I quit? Should I stay? Because he just did it again last month. I feel like I lost myself when I became his woman. I don't know what my purpose is. I've been a stay-at-home for 5 years, because in 2 years, that we were separated, I was working. Okay, I don't understand the last bit very well, but she feels like since she became this mama to this guy, then she lost herself.
Yes, it's very true, because, okay, first and foremost, the moment there's cheating in a relationship, you begin to think less of yourself. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Then, her self-esteem has definitely taken a beating. So she has to make a very conscious decision to find herself again.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's an internal journey that she must be able to take, so that she finds herself again.
Yeah.
When she does take that journey and find herself again, then she can make a very good decision, a very solid decision of, does this person actually add value to my life? Does he take me where I want to go or not?
Okay.
If he doesn't, then she'll be bold enough. Right now, someone in that state, if you try to tell her, jump out, leave, or what, unapigia mbuzi guitar.
They need to go back in.
She needs to go back in, because you'll realize that even that relationship choice was made out of brokenness.
Oh, okay.
So she needs to reconstruct herself back, from, and not think about this guy. Because you see, all the focus is on this person. Yes, he has cheated, he has cheated.
And the one thing you say about yourself is how you've lost yourself.
Yes.
So there's nothing you've
there's
told
nothing
her. It's
about
more
yourself.
about the guy.
So she needs to find her own identity, so that this other person becomes the other person. She is the main person that she needs to think about. When she gets to that place, she will be more empowered to think and be able also to see her purpose. Right now, she's in a cloud. She can't see.
Yeah, she can't see.
If she can reach out, let's take the realignment journey.
Please, let me tell you, utatupatia number, directions, house number. We're here for it all, Judy. We are here for it all.
Yeah.
Hello, Mwikali. My name is Susan. I got married when I was a teenager sometime last year. I had to go back to school. Jusikuwa nimemaliza high school. I'm 26, a mom of one, and I'm stuck, like literally stuck. So at 26, you've gone back to school. And you're a mom. You had to stop schooling for a while.
I don't think it's all lost.
It is not.
It's not lost.
It isn't.
Even, by the way, forgive yourself for the fact that you got married as a teenager. Forgive yourself for what you think maybe you gave birth when you were young.
Yeah.
And now you are on a path to recovery. Celebrate that. Because that's where she needs to begin.
Yeah.
She needs to begin to see her pluses.
That's true.
Then work with that as she moves forward. Sometimes we focus too much on the negatives, and that makes us not be able to move ahead. But if she can be able to just see that I'm doing something to recover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe she didn't even need to go to school. She can do what is called you can
get courses that are technical.
Not even technical. She can actually get a certificate.
But I understand what you mean.
Yes.
The courses
private candidate.
Yes.
Private candidate.
Yes.
She can just become a private candidate for the sake of getting the document, and then now in this season also try and find out what is her path of purpose and begin to align towards it. Let me tell you, Mwikali, when you find your path of purpose, you upande stairs. Kuna ka lift kana kupandishanga.
I like that. I like that. And I think all of this just boils down to the statement that you started this show with.
Yes.
The most important relationship with yourself.
Yes.
That if you fall in love with yourself over and over again, see how we keep forgiving other people in our lives?
Yes.
How about you even start forgiving yourself? The amount of love that you pour out to other people, how about if you pour just a little bit more to yourself? If I'm going to be gifting you every other month just because, how about you gift yourself?
Yes.
Just dependent to kidogo.
And then I like what you're saying, that how about you give yourself just a little, but give yourself a lot.
A lot.
The reason why you give yourself a lot is that so that when you give, you're giving out of the place of overflow.
Yes.
When you give out of the place of overflow, Mikali, I'm not expecting anything in return. I'm giving because this is my nature.
That is true.
So sikai hapa na, what is it called? I'm not sitting here with a debit and credit account.
Nimetoa hii.
I'm waiting for you to return this.
Yes.
No, I have given you out of overflow. Should you decide to give it back?
Sawa.
If not, I performed my purpose in your life, and
That's
it's
it.
okay. When you have that perspective, you stop living around life with a lose mentality. You have a win-win mentality. You expect nothing but goodness because you have learned to forgive yourself. You have learned to accept yourself, and now you can give out of the overflow.
Absolutely. Hi, Mikali and Judy. Thanks for the powerful conversation. I'm 23 years, started my accounting course back in 2019. I've been passing and failing some units. Finally, I ended up failing the whole course because of one unit. I felt so degraded since accounting was all that I wanted to do. I'm now confused and I don't know which path to take. I'm just at home, confused, angry, thinking how I have failed my parents and friends and wasted all the support they gave me. Please help me know myself. Judy, this chukwa.
Let me tell you, the fact that she has failed, and she knows, one thing that I like about her is that she knows accounting is what she wanted to do.
Yes.
The fact that she has failed does not mean that that's the end of the road.
Yeah.
You know what? Gladly, she's failing when she's 23. She's learning the process, because failure is a real part of life, Mikali. The only thing is we place so much emphasis on academics that when someone probably fails academically, it feels like the world has come to an end. But life is about learning to fail and rise up again. Learning to fail and rise up again. Yes. I want to encourage her. Rise up again. Go. Since you know that the accounting is what you wanted to do, rise up. Go and do it again. Just a week ago, I was hosting a young man who had done an exam 7 times, failing. 7.
Wow.
7. And since he's a Christian, every time he was going with a scripture to encourage himself. 3 is the number of Trinity. And then he comes
7 year completion.
7, 5 for the number of grace. And still, are you seeing? But imagine, at the 7th time, he made it. He made it. He was full of tears. I want to encourage that person. You will make it. You'll be full of tears and you'll be calling back Mikali to say, now I made it. Yes. That
is powerful. Please be encouraged. This is a conversation I think that needs to continue. And I know we went off. We went off track. Our time is up. I don't think we answered enough questions, Judy.
We did our job.
We did our best today. And our time is up. House number, everything. How can people get it? We need help.
I know, Mikali, and that's why I come here, and thank you to Switch TV for always opening the doors. May God just continue blessing and lifting you guys up.
Much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So 0714-722-733.
Again?
0714-722-733. 0784-722-733. You can also find me on social media at Safarini with Judy Mzungu Hakula, where we take the journey of life together. Be encouraged. You can always find yourself and get on track. God bless you.
And she did it 40 plus years later. So you can do it.
Yes.
You can do it.
Yes.
I can do it. Let's just start this journey with the most important person in the world.
Yes.
And that is you.
Yes.
We're taking a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle.